Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we will create our first browser automation project using Vibium. And by the end, you would have learned how to automate a simple browser task step by step. So first thing first, what is Vibium? Vibium is a browser automation tool that lets you automate web tasks easily without heavy coding. Now, the installation process is pretty easy and straightforward. All you need to do is come over to the website, as you can see on my screen, vibium.com, and click on GitHub, and you go ahead and click on Docs, and after that you click Tutorials and Getting Started. So on here you're going to see step-by-steps of how to go ahead and create your projects, install Vibium, and add the code implementation, and run your first test. So as you can see, step one tells us exactly what we need to ensure that we have. So you need to ensure that you have Node.js installed on your machine, and after installation, you need to verify that Node.js is installed. So I'm going to copy Node.js, open my command prompt by typing cmd, and I'm going to paste that and press enter. So as you can see, I have Node installed on my machine. If you don't currently have it, so all you want to do is go ahead and download Node.js, install the LTS version, and um, you should now be ready to, use Vibium. And then the next thing is, if you go to step 2, it says create a project folder. So I'll go ahead and create a project folder, and I will initialize the project. So all I'll do is come over to my desktop, right click, go to new, and type Vibium first test and press enter. So double click on the folder, and you want to type cmd right here and press enter, which will open the command prompt, and you want to go ahead and initialize the project by typing npm init-y as instructed on the page in step 2. So I'm going to go ahead and initialize by pressing enter, and you see that it will create a package.json file for the project. And then the next step is to go ahead and probably install Vibium. So as you can see, step 3 has asked us to install Vibium. So I will copy this and I'll paste it right here and press enter. So it's going to take its time and install Vibium into this project so that we should now be ready to use Vibium to automate browser. So by default, Vibium supports Chrome, and when we start automating, you'll see that it's going to be opening a Chrome browser for the automation. So that's step 3 done. The next step is to create a file, and it says to create a file and call it hello.js. Now I'm going to first ensure that I can see my project in VS Code by typing code space dot and press enter, and this will open VS Code for me with the package.json initialized, and I have node modules available, which means, okay, I have installed Vibium and I should be having Vibium available to be used inside of my project. So the next thing I want to do is to add um, a file. So I'll go ahead and click on add new file, and I'll call the file, let's call it source demo test.js, and I'll press enter. And then if I go back to the website, you see that the next step is to go ahead and copy this code and put it inside of the file that we've just created. So I'll go ahead and paste this code right here. And what can we see here in this file? We can see the dependency which is going to be used inside of this source demo test.js file. And the code implementation that will allow us to open a browser, and this next code will help us to navigate to a website called example.com and go ahead and take a screenshot of the website and find a locator, and then it's going to click on that locator and then quit the browser. Let's go ahead and run the test and see what is happening. So to run the test, you want to open Terminal by going to View and select Terminal here. And then you are going to run the test by typing node, and you want to give the proper name for the class file and then run the test. As you can see, the name is source demo test. So go ahead and press enter. So it looks like there's an error somewhere. So what we are going to do is, let me clear this one. Source demo tests. Ooh, so the spelling of source is with S. So I'll go ahead and run the test again and click allow here. And as you can see, we navigated to example.com, clicked on the link, and our test got completed. As you can see, it says done. So you can see all these step-by-steps of the actions performed on the page because we have console.log right here. So console.log tells us exactly that we have navigated to example.com, and right here we have taken a screenshot and it has been saved. So that's the saved screenshot right there. If I click on it, it's going to show you the page that the screenshot, where the screenshots was taken. And then the next thing, we identified the locator. It printed the text of the locator, which is learn more, and it clicked on it and finally closed the browser, and hence why it's done. So as you can see, so all the step-by-step is printed in the console right there. So you can now go ahead and make your own few adjustments if you really want to. And what I'm going to do is to navigate to source demo. Let's say I go to source demo.com. sourcedemo.com, and I'm going to tell it to take a screenshot as usual, and I'm going to identify the username and password on source demo. So let me quickly identify these locators. And by the way, Vibium supports mainly CSS selectors amongst all the different locator strategy. CSS selector is highly recommended. So I'm going to go ahead and use CSS for this demonstration. So there you go. So we are going to identify the username, and then we will, I don't need this one. So I'm just going to click on the username, and I'll do the exact same thing for the password. Now, actually, instead of clicking, what I'm going to do is to type. So I want to type into this username, and the username we're going to type in is standard_user. And then the next thing is to identify password. So that's the password right there, and I'm going to type this password, secret source. They are all on the page right there. So if you see, that's the username here that we are typing in, and here's the password. Okay. So the next thing is to identify the locator for the login button, which is this. And then we are going to perform a click action on the login button. And after that, we should close the browser. So let's see how this works. So what we're expecting is a browser should open, navigate to sourcedemo.com and type into username and password, click the login button, and there you have it. So if you look at the console, you see it loaded source demo, took a screenshot, typed the username and password, click the login button, and close the browser successfully. So there you have it. If you click on the screenshot, you see the source demo page, a login page, a screenshot was taken. So that's it, everyone. That's how you can do your first browser automation using Vibium, and we look forward to the next video. Thank you. Please, if you are new to this channel, do not hesitate to like, comment, and please subscribe. Thank you.